Yo, what's up with it? I ain't gonna cap. I ain't really on shit right now, but was thinking about boxing. Just got some shit on my mind about boxing, so I thought I'd come on here and just air some shit out real quick. Looking at all this shit going on, the boxing game. So I'm about to watch the game in a little bit. So basketball, because y'all know I'm a Timberwolves fan, so I gotta represent Minnesota Timberwolves. That's my team, so I gotta represent. But like I said, I had some shit on my mind about boxing and shit I want to speak on, so I thought I'd jump on here real quick and do a little quick boxing take session, if you will. So that's pretty much where I'm at with it right now. But I don't really be feeling a lot of the shit people be saying because, like I be telling y'all, a lot of these people are not objective. They just feel some kind of way and they go off of how they feel instead of actually what's real. And a lot of these conversations or a lot of the shit people be saying, it's like a lot of that shit be head scratchers. You know what I mean? And then the thing is, these niggas be acting like hoes, like how these black bitches be acting. Like, you know how when you're honest and you tell the truth about shit, motherfuckers get mad and shit, but the shit you're saying is true, but they still get mad. Like, people can't accept the truth anymore. And that's the thing. You know what I mean? And everybody's doing it. It's not just black women doing that shit. Everybody's doing it. And that's how this boxing shit is. Everybody's emotional. People are way too invested in the fighter, stuff like that. Nobody's honest. Everybody's quick to discredit when you don't even have to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? And one of the things that's been bothering me about boxing is people complaining about how certain fighters fight. My thing is, either don't watch certain fighters that you feel is boring, or learn to appreciate that shit. Because you got to understand, boxing is kind of like a Mortal Kombat video game. Every fighter got their own fighting style. Like, for those that are up on video games, Liu Kang fights different from Johnny Cage. Sub-Zero fights different from Scorpion. The whole nine. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's kind of how boxing is. And people get on here and they talk that stupid shit. Oh, he's boring. He's not entertaining. All that dumbass shit. And it's like, then don't watch the nigga fight then. Or, like I said, learn to appreciate that. Because it's like, I feel like if you get the understanding where it's like, hey, if I could limit the damage I take and then dish out damage and win fights that way, why would I not do that? Why would I be an aging boxer and I'm sitting here taking punishment that I could avoid if I fight a certain way, but I'm dishing out punishment, winning these fights, and I'm a motherfucking champion doing that? Why would I not do that? I feel like if more people would like to understand that and appreciate that, the happier people would be and the more people would enjoy boxing. That made boxing salute. What's good with it? What's good with it? What's good with you? And I just kind of get bugged out by that. I mean, I'm not saying no action at all. I'm not saying I don't want to see niggas get pieced up. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm just saying there's nothing wrong with fighting that way. Because like I said, Floyd Mayweather, in my opinion, best fighter to do it, one of the best, in my opinion, the best. And it's like, early in his career, he was wrecking shit, knocking motherfuckers out. His first title fight, he made the guy quit on the stool in the 8th round. So he was fucking people up back in the day when he was in his prime. You know what I mean? When he was younger, rather. But as he got older, he started to realize, as an older fighter, why the fuck would I want to get punched in the head over and over again when I could fight in a way to prevent that, but I could still piece you up and win? You dig? That's being smart. I don't see how somebody would criticize that. Now, if you're a hater and you want to see the guy lose, just say that shit. I can respect it because you're honest. But these motherfuckers will get up here and say, oh, no, he's a boring fighter and all that. That ain't boring. It's smart. But again, if you don't appreciate boxing in its true form, then you don't understand. If you're a casual, just say that shit. People act like they're not casuals when they really are. And it's kind of frustrating. So I don't be liking that take that people be having. So I thought I want to just air that out. I don't think I ever said that before. Shit, if I did, I forgot. Boxing landscape is crazy. Then this other thing that's kind of bugging me is people are criticizing David Benavidez. They're saying that he's always talking about Canelo. And the problem with that is it's like he's doing interviews where they're asking him about Canelo over and over again. And he's just being kind enough to answer the question. They're literally asking this man in multiple interviews about Canelo. He got a fight with Zerto coming up. I just saw a recent interview and they're asking him about Canelo. So instead of being rude or getting an attitude and saying, why the fuck y'all keep asking me about Canelo? He's kind enough to answer the question about Canelo. And people are saying that he keeps Canelo's name in his mouth. And are y'all, like, the thing about it is, are you guys paying attention to what's being said in the interview? Or are you guys just like, oh, I don't like Benavidez, so I'm just going to come with this narrative? Because he's literally being asked about the dude. And then he's asking about him. And then they're saying that he's linked to Canelo. Why not? The man wanted to be undisputed at super middleweight. And he had a chance, but he had to fight Canelo to do that. And Canelo wouldn't fight him. You dig? So it's like, you would feel some kind of way about that. I don't see how somebody would criticize him for that. So that's what I'm saying, man. People would feel some kind of way and they'll just throw facts out the window and just run with a narrative. And it's like, that's not even the actual truth, but whatever. You feel that way, so that's how you feel. You're going to say that shit. I don't really be liking how niggas be taking that approach. And that shit be kind of irritating me to hear this shit. And then another thing that bothered me was, you know how people don't like Devin Haney? It's popular to hate on Devin Haney. The issue with that is they're saying that in a way, they're saying that, because I saw a poll, actually, and it was about who's better out of Inoue and Haney or whatever. And it was people saying that Inoue has a better resume and he's better than Haney and all that. See, that's the thing. You don't like Devin Haney. So since you don't like Devin Haney, you would say something like that. Because if you actually break down their careers and if you actually assess their accomplishments, they're pretty even. There's really no gap. They're pretty even. I mean, you could say Inoue is better because he knocks people out, but that don't make you better than somebody. Because I want to say Oscar De La Hoya in his prime was a stronger puncher than Mayweather, but he's by far not a better fighter than Mayweather was. So just because you can knock niggas out and the other guy don't, that don't make you better than him, you know? But if you actually assess that, those two, they're actually pretty even. There's really no, like I said, there's no gap. There is no, oh, he's way better than him or whatever. He has a way better resume. Nah, not really. Haney actually fought more quality opponents, but in a way's resume, he fought the guys that were good in his weight class. It is what it is with that. But to say he's way better or he has a better career than Haney, that's cap. But it's like you're only saying that because you don't like Haney. So it's not like you're factual. And that's the problem. It's like people, they go off of how they feel instead of they go off what's true. And that's what fucked this boxing game up. I don't be digging that shit. Is it racism? Shit, who gives a fuck? It is what it is. There's always going to be that element. So whatever with that shit. And I'm not even trying to get people to be a Haney fan. I'm not even the biggest Haney fan. The only reason why I'm defending him is because people are lying on dude. There's a lot of hate and there's a lot of lying. It's like, I can understand you don't like him. He ain't your cup of tea, whatever the fuck that means. But don't lie on the guy. You know, I mean, I'm not even going to say put respect on his name. Just put some honesty on his name. And these motherfuckers up here just willing to lie and shit. It's like you can't dig that shit. Or I can't dig that shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's just hard to understand people's position on that, you know? And I've been covering boxing for a long time. And I started noticing this during COVID, when COVID was going on. 2020, 2021, right? And then after COVID, and what I started noticing is I've never heard a fighter get credit for losing until Canelo. And I find that strange. Like Canelo is the only boxer I've heard in the past 5 years that got credit for losing. Every other fighter loses a fight, they get laughed at, they get called a bum, the fans talk crazy. Canelo's the only fighter that will lose, and a large amount of people that are so-called, I'll give these guys respect and say they're boxing fans, they'll sit there and give him credit for losing. I've never heard a boxer get credit for losing before until Canelo. He's literally the first fighter, I'm keeping it real with y'all. He's literally the first fighter I ever heard get credit for losing. I've never heard no other fighter get credit for losing. Never. Like, I'm keeping it 100. I've never heard a fighter get credit for losing until Canelo. You know what I mean? And he's getting outclassed in these fights he's losing. He ain't getting knocked out. He's lucky enough to not have that happen to him, but he's getting outclassed in these fights. The fights that he lost, he was severely outclassed. He kind of looked amateurish in those fights. And it's like, he's getting credit for losing. When other fighters lose, they don't get credit. They won't even give Tank credit for having a draw with Roach, but they'll give Canelo credit for losing to Bivol. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's not even real. That's not even realistic. Like, when the fuck you get credit for losing? That's not how boxing originally works. You lose the fight. Of course, it's respectable you took the fight. That's everybody, though. But you lost. There's no credit for that. He's literally the only fighter I've heard get credit for losing. And that shit is weird to me. There's no way you like Canelo that much. I just don't believe that. He's a fighter like everybody else. And that shit is this is weird. It's like there's just a lot of shit I've been seeing in the past week. It's just been annoying me. So it's like, I'm gonna fuck around and kill some time and do a video just speaking my piece on this shit. Just annoyed by a lot of this shit, because it's like, shit don't be making sense. It is what it is. And the thing about I said this before, but this still kind of like low key bothers me. So I'm gonna say this shit again, like the Terrence Crawford shit. It's like, I've said it. Obviously, the people that are criticizing Crawford, they obviously think Crawford is great, because why would you put all these extreme ass? Why do you have all these expectations for Crawford that's so extreme? Because you feel that Crawford is that good. You dig? But it's not genuine at the same time, because your ultimate motive is to see him lose. So, because everybody knows it's not realistic he'll fight other fighters, like bigger guys. It's not realistic to go to 75 and fight Bivol, or like fight the same guys Canelo fought. It's not realistic he'll do that. And some people are saying he should do that. But it's two things, though. You got all these strange ass, extreme ass expectations for black fighters because you feel they're the best. And then two, at the same time, you really want to see him lose, because for whatever strange ass reason, you want revenge for a boxer losing the fight, Canelo. That, I don't know what it is. That just bugs the hell out of me. What up with it, BYU? But that just bugs the hell out of me. That people that are so-called fans or the Canelo fans are acting like that. That just bugs the shit out of me. I just don't like that shit. That's something I lash out at every chance I get, to be honest with y'all. Because it's like, y'all that mad that he beat dude. Y'all want this nigga to take on all these fights that's not realistic, just so your bitch ass can watch the fight with your fingers crossed, hoping he will lose. Then come on the internet and talk shit. You dig? And it's like, that shit just bugs the hell out of me, bro. It should not upset you that Canelo lost to Crawford at all. I never get mad when the fighter I like loses a fight. If they lose that shit straight up, nigga, they lost that shit. Mad about that shit. There's lots. I can name so many fights. I ain't even gonna do all that, but lots of fights where it's like the fighter I wanted to win lost, and I ain't mad about that shit. I don't want revenge or none of that shit. These motherfuckers want revenge for Canelo. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna go to their grave finding ways to discredit Crawford because he beat their favorite fighter. Like, come on now. It is what it is, man. That shit just bugs me though. I ain't gonna cap. I don't really like that. No, no objectivity in this shit. It's just all everything is one sided. The biased people are calling other people biased. You know, it is what it is. So to wrap it up on that one issue, I tried to debate the guy. I challenged him. He's well aware of my challenge and he ignored me. So you can legit say he ducked me, you know, because you said that bullshit on your post. So why don't you prove that shit? And then he didn't want to do that. So he getting skipped on now. You dig? What is it, like 36? All right, yeah, a few more minutes and I'm gonna go up there, watch this game. But yeah. But yeah, man. Shit been bugging me all week, man. I'm like, let me get into this. You know, I saw some stuff on the Boxing Voice, that show that comes on. I don't be watching it, but I came across a live I just happened to see, and he was talking about the dude on there, the host of the show. He was talking about there's no buzz for the Benavidez and Zerto fight. And in my personal opinion, I think the reason why there's no buzz for that fight is because people don't really want to see him fight Zerto. Even though it is a good fight, Zerto's a good fighter, but people rather see him fight Bivol, Beterbiev, or even Cinnamon. That's what people want to see him do, and he's not fighting none of those guys. So because of that, I believe that's contributing to why there's a so-called no buzz. Me, I want to see the fight. I think it's a good matchup, like I said, because Zerto's a good fighter. Zerto can fight. I don't think he's going to win, but shit, he can't. I mean, you know, like I always say, it's boxing. Anything can happen. You know that. But I think Benavidez going to go in there and handle that. Me personally. Yeah, there's no. I mean, you hear about it because I heard about the jaw fight 2 weeks ago. He's fighting that Brandon Glanton dude, but I'll be honest with you. Since then, I haven't really heard nothing about that either. I mean, you hear little snippets, but it's not like a massive buzz. Like it's not like when Devin Haney got a fight lined up. Like when Devin Haney got a fight lined up, everybody's talking about that shit. You know, it's just like a buzz in the fight. Perfect example was when Haney was fighting Norman Jr. That fight got announced in June. People literally talked about that fight for 4 months straight until the fight. I mean, till the fight happened. 5 months straight. People literally talked about that fight. I remember last year it was announced in June. They had a little press conference. People literally talked about that fight for 5 months straight until the fight happened. And they just did the same thing with the Shakur and CEO. Like that's a buzz. And Ja fights never had that kind of buzz. You know. So that's a buzz. So yeah, the Benavidez and Zerto fight should be good. Because you know in these upcoming fights that's coming up in the next couple of months, that's a fight I'm looking forward to the most. The Benavidez and Zerto fight. So I'm fucking with it. But I kind of get what he's saying though. The buzz is kind of dry on that. I do understand where he's coming from when he says that. That is facts. You know. So that should be a good fight. But yeah, I got Benavidez winning that. And I'm actually interested in that. I'm also interested in the other fight too, the other PBC fight, the one before that, the one where Thurman fights Fundora. I'm actually interested in that. To be honest, that's an interesting fight. Watch that fight. I honestly don't know who I want to pick for that. I have no idea. I have no idea who I'm gonna pick for that fight. I guess Fundora. I guess. I guess. I guess. And then Haney and Rolly supposed to be fighting on the 30th of May. That's a good fight. Like that fight. That's Haney all day. Rolly cool. He's gotten better. But I know what time it is. That's Haney. Haney taking that. I know what it is. It's another 12-round UD for Haney. That's most likely what's going to happen. But I've been surprised before, so keep that in mind. So, all right, I'm about to run this little errand real quick, and I'll be back on the live. Stay tuned.